Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back with part two of the video. The first video, we basically just got the rundown of the Sapphire and using affordable motherboard and CPU and memory for the platform. So this is what we ran with, and we got our numbers. Basically, I think we got up to 29 mega hashes. We were running at approximately about 150 watts, which is the max wattage of the Radeon RX 580. And I think overall our system was pushing at close to 300 watts. So the job here to right now is to reduce the wattage consumption. So it'll be good if we can probably reduce about 100 to 115 watts. That will cut down the power consumption that we're using at the outlet. So to do this, I'm using the Radeon tool. This comes with the driver. You can select to install this tool when you install the driver. So if you want to do any kind of overclocking manually or have the Radeon tool do auto tuning for you, you can do that. But right now we're going to do manual tuning. So I'll be adjusting the voltage and stuff on here, and then I'll be applying the settings, and then I'll be kicking off the mining tool to start, and then we'll start looking at exactly what our wattage is. And I think right now we're at 75 watts just sitting idle, and you can see that nothing is running. So we'll get to it and start adjusting everything. So let's just take a look and see what's going on. First we'll click on manual. This is the GPU part. So let's start enabling everything. We'll start seeing P states. Right here is your voltage, which is the main thing you want to reduce. So I've done this already, so you guys are welcome to use any of the settings that I'm using. But basically to reduce wattage, you always want to reduce voltage. Not always frequency, because you can run at a high frequency at a low voltage, so you just gotta play around with it and see what works and what's stable for you. So to make sure things are stable, you pretty much apply your settings, you save them, and then you start the mining tool, and then you can kind of start looking at the wattage, and then also seeing if the rig will be stable at running at those voltages and frequencies. So we'll start right now with the GPU core. So like I said, I've already done this, so I'm just going to put in some numbers that I know that'll work. You guys can put in other numbers to play around with to see what happens. So basically what I'm doing right here is just applying 950 millivolts across P state 3 all the way to the max P state. I'm going to change my core frequency to 1200 across all that, and I'm doing this just to make sure that no matter what P state I run at, that we're staying at this. So like if you would have put it at only P state 5 and P state 7, then when it went to the other P states, it would jump to whatever those frequency and voltages are. So here we go. This is the first part of the tuning. I'm only doing the GPU core. So I'm going to apply my settings. Settings have been applied. I'm just going to minimize this. I'm going to open up my console. Now I'm going to start the mining script. And once again, we have the TDR registry stuff not set, and it's not set because I'm not trying to modify anything, right? We're just basically using what comes out of the box, meaning your basic drivers for the platform and for the graphics card. And so once this thing start up and start tuning, then we'll see exactly what mining configuration that Team Red Miner set it to. So as you see, we're already off and it's taken into consideration my changes for the core. Let's focus. Okay, there you go. So now you can see it. It's at 1200 megahertz, and it's at 950 millivolts, as you can see. So our settings already took place, and so it's tuning. So right now we got a low hash rate. It's at 4 mega hashes, but pretty soon it's going to pick up. Okay, there we go. It's picking up, and we're running at 95 watts. That's pretty good. So right now we've already chewed off 55 watts. So that's pretty good. And let's see, it's about at 26. So we'll let this thing run. Like I say, I just like it to warm up a little bit, and then we can see exactly what kind of hash rate. Okay, so it's still tuning. That's what it says. So let me just check this out, and here we are. This is our wattage. So like I say, we were at 250 something all the way to 290 something watts on the last video. So approximately 85 watts we've stripped off, or somewhere around there, 80 watts or so, or 75, somewhere around there. I guess simple math, right? So this is basically how you do your undervoltage in your tuning. And so right now we're actually running the stress test, right? So it's mining, it's doing its thing, and we're already under voltage. So we let this run, like I say, about 5-10 minutes. Make sure it doesn't crash, make sure it doesn't lock up, and then we can actually see what our real throughput numbers are. And there you go. I think when we were running at full bore, I think it peaked at like 29 mega hashes, and right now it's at 28. So we look good to go, man. Oh look, and then the wattage is dropping, and there you go, we're under 200. So there you go. We're accepting shares. You see right there, we have 2 shares accepted, and we're mining away. So if I want to be more, I guess, spot on to reducing wattage, I can reduce this probably another 25 to 50 millivolts. So I will run probably about 900 millivolts, and we can try to run at 12 megahertz, but that's pretty fast to run at that amount of voltage. It probably will run, but I would assume that you will run into a power energy situation where the GPU core wouldn't get enough power, and then you would get the GPU dead, or you will probably get a hang, or maybe some artifact stuff, or system lockup. But that's what you would do. You just sit up there and play with that, and then you figure out what your sweet spot is. And I haven't even overclocked the memory speed, anything like that, to boost up the hash. So like I say, this is straight out of the box, just using the tools that are free, that doesn't cause you to void any warranty or anything like that if you're learning or beginning how to mod. But my thing is always just under voltage, man. I think that's the bang for the buck, rather than trying to do all the high-end overclocking, unless you just got the resources. But if you don't have the resources, this is the way to go. Like I say, I'm running with an old HP AM2 motherboard, the Pegatron, and it's pegging away. And I'm running with a dual core Athlon, 2 gigs. So, and I think my system is 8 gigabytes of memory, and it's mixed DIMMs. So there you go, man. Spend about, roughly about $600. Start mining, man. And here you go. This is it.